Okay, today we are going to be doing a video that has been long awaited. The 100 grain ELD-VT bullet from Hornady has been out for a while now, and a lot of you guys wanted me to test it in 6.5 Grendel. I've been trying to test this for a while, but it just hasn't worked out. Like every time I tried to come out and do this, just something came up. So anyway, that's what we're doing today. We have all the specs on the equipment and the components are going to be in the description below for those of you that are interested in all that stuff. But essentially we have an Aero receiver set, Aero handguard, and Odin Works barrel with an Odin bolt carrier group, I believe, that was a matching with the barrel. It came with the barrel. An Athlon 4-20 scope on top. So we're using Starline brass, 450 CKYE primers. I think that's what I loaded these with. I didn't actually write that on here. I've got it at home, but anyway, they're probably CKYE 450s, and we're using the 100 grain Hornady ELD-VT, and what we're gonna be switching is we're gonna go through a variety of different powders from, I think, the fastest to the slowest powder. I may not have had them perfectly in order this time, but essentially we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different charges that we're gonna be working with, or 7 different powders that we're gonna be working with, excuse me, and those powders are going to be Hodgdon H322, Accurate 2015, Vitivori N133, Hodgdon Benchmark, IMR 8208, and Hodgdon H4895 and Hodgdon Varget. Those are going to be the last ones. The H4895 and the Varget were compressed, so just be mindful of that when I go through those charge weights. So be also aware that you guys help me decide what powders we're going to use when you vote in the polls that I put out on YouTube. So if you guys see those polls, all you got to do is just click one of the multiple choice things to let me know what you want to see, or you can comment and let me know something different if you don't see something that you like, or if you want to see multiple, because I can't really set it up in a way that allows you to choose several. So anyway, that's what we're going to be working with today. Like I said, you guys help me decide what we're going to do, so always vote in the polls and leave comments when you can. That being said, the GoPro is recording. We're going to document speeds as we go through these, and I will tell them to you verbally as we shoot them. I am going to try to run this test with just the brake on the gun, but if we run into cycling issues, which is something that just happened about 30 minutes ago, we're gonna throw the suppressor on it so that we can get some extra back pressure. I don't know if we're gonna run into that, but there's a good chance that we can, going through so many different powders. But if I'm remembering right, these weren't exactly light loads. The case was pretty full on most of them, if I'm remembering correctly, when we loaded these. So again, I loaded these a while back, but we're shooting at roughly 100 yards. It's not quite 100, but people like that 3-digit number. So we're shooting at 100 today, even though it's maybe a few yards less than that. But we're gonna start off on the top left diamond. I'm gonna hope that these hit the paper, because if you know what, never mind. I take that back. We're going for the center diamond just to be safe, because I want you guys to get as much data as possible out of this. But we're gonna start with 26 grains of Hodgdon 322, which is a really hard powder to get right now, so I'm sorry that we're gonna be testing some stuff that you guys might consider hen's teeth. But going for the center diamond here, 3 shots. 2349, that's pretty slow. 2315. 2300. Starting off pretty good on accuracy. The velocity wasn't super consistent, but the accuracy is looking great so far, so that makes me happy. Average velocity was 2321, extreme spread of 49, and a standard deviation of 20. The accuracy was good. Velocity could have been better. It was actually kind of slow, but that's okay. We're gonna move on to the next powder here in just a second. Okay, next up we have 26.0 grains of Accurate 2015. Gonna be going for the top left diamond on this one. I moved the point of impact too, so we should be inside of the diamond if all goes well. 2354. 2355, 2360. Well, that was like really consistent velocities on that one. Holy goodness, that was sweet. All right, so these numbers are gonna blow you guys away. The average velocity was 2356, extreme spread of 7, and a standard deviation of 2.9. So like really tight. Doesn't necessarily reflect that in the group, but like it's still not a bad group. I mean, this is a semi-automatic gun with a pretty big bullet. So they're moving kind of slow, but like this gun shot most of what I've put through it really well so far. I'm really impressed with this particular barrel. It's done great up to this point. So I'm enjoying shooting it. I wish I could get some like Lapua or Alpha brass for this, but you can't because they don't make it right now. I would like them to change that, but I don't think they're gonna hear me out from just being that one person. Because again, I love this cartridge because everything I've put in this gun has shot good. That doesn't necessarily mean that the cartridge is phenomenal just by the accuracy standard that I've seen, but I like it because when stuff shoots good right out of the box, it's hard for me not to like it. So we're just gonna keep shooting it, whether whether or not we can get higher end brass for it or not. Not to say that Starline is bad. I'm not trying to trash Starline. I have seen some better consistency and longevity, mainly longevity. I've seen a lot of Starline brass crack, and I'm not trying to dog the company, but I've ruined a lot of it earlier in its life than I kind of expected to, which bums me out a little bit, but I may have just gotten some bad batches. So that's not to say it's all like that. On to the next topic. So we are going to continue on to 26.0 grains of Vitivori in 133. Okay, so when the gun goes click, that means you did not load around. Just FYI, for those of you that didn't know that. Okay, that felt crunchy. Which is what we like, nice and crunchy. 24-24. Oh crap. All right, so we're gonna have to run the suppressor. I didn't really want to, but we're gonna have to put it on there. I got a nice little dent, a couple symmetrical dents actually in the on the shoulder there. So this next ones might not shoot too good, but that's my fault. Okay, suppressor has been installed. First round was 24 feet per second. I'm gonna shoot these last two here. 24-16 and 24-37. Average velocity of 24-26, extreme spread of 20, and a standard deviation of 8. So still really good on the velocity spread. I just wish we could have kept running it with the brake on and not the can, because I don't like throwing different variables in here, but it's on there now, so we're just gonna keep it on there unless something changes. Next up is gonna be 27.0 grains of Hodgdon benchmark. And this group's gonna go on that top right diamond. 24-30, 24-54, 24-31. We might have just found our load for this gun. Average muzzle velocity of 24-38, extreme spread of 24, and a standard deviation of 11. I am good with all of that. The accuracy was phenomenal. Velocity spread was great. That's friggin' sweet. I'll take that all day long. Cool. So suppressor's not hurting our accuracy right now, so that's good. The Mirage is miserable, but we can shoot through Mirage. We do it all the time. It's just annoying. Next up is going to be 26.5 grains of IMR 8208. We're going to be going for the left side of the center diamond. 23-35, 23-17, 23-05. Average velocity of 23-19, extreme spread of 30, and a standard deviation of 12.5. I've been really impressed with the spread on a lot of these, as far as like the standard deviation's been pretty low actually, but because this is all new brass, none of this has been fired and like formed into this chamber or whatever. It's all been brand new, just loaded it, and it's actually giving me some really good results, so I'm happy with that. The group wasn't as good on that one, especially compared to the last one, but the spread was awesome and the group was okay. It just wasn't stellar. Next up, we have 27.5 grains of Hodgdon H322. Now remember, this one and the next one are slightly compressed, so the bullets did get kind of marked up a little bit. There's kind of a cedar plug ring on the top of it, so the accuracy can be affected by that. I don't know that the SD is going to be affected nearly as much as the groups are, but we're still going to shoot them. But I just want you guys to know what I'm looking at here, because the bullets did kind of get boogered up a little bit, but I had to seat them to mag length obviously, so we didn't really have much choice after we had the powder in there. Obviously I could have just dumped the powder out and loaded them different, but I'm lazy. So we're gonna go for the top right side of the center diamond here. 29, or I'm sorry, not 29, 23.95. 24.08. 24.13. Man, this thing's kind of gassing me out a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. Whew, you can even see it coming out of the magazine. Look at that. I don't know if y'all can see that or not, but it's like smoking. I hope you can see that. Average muzzle velocity of 24.05, extreme spread of 18.4, and a standard deviation of 8. So yet again, good. The accuracy was good. The velocity spread was good. I wish the bullets weren't boogered up a little bit, but ultimately that's still totally a viable load. Last up is 27.5 grains of Hodgdon varget. This last group here is going to go right on the bottom of the center diamond. 22.99. Holy cow. That's slow. 2,300. Actually, it's 22.99 again. Wow, that's like really consistent. There's literally a 0.3 difference in the velocity. Not even a full foot per second. That's hilarious. The Mirage is so bad right now, like the target's literally a blur. Like I can't even make out shapes. It's just like an off-white red mix of color, but I can't even pick a spot to shoot. Oh, it's getting a little better. Okay, so I tried to shoot right in a spot where the Mirage was like faded just enough to where I could kind of make out a definitive point on the target, and it panned out well because that was a really good group. Actually, I think it was the best group we shot all day. And I don't mean like just in this video. So that was actually pretty sweet to end on. The velocity was stupid slow. So like I wouldn't really consider that viable as far as a coyote load, just because 2,300 feet per second kind of sucks as far as like if you're trying to shoot coyotes at distance. That's kind of pokey. But we shot plenty of other groups that suggested that this bullet is still going to work for us in this gun. So let's go over the velocity real quick and then we'll conclude the video. Average velocity of okay, so apparently I didn't pick up that last shot. I just realized that, but this is just kind of funny. So the average muzzle velocity was 22.99. The extreme spread was 0.4 feet per second, and the standard deviation was 0.2 feet per second. So literally it was perfect. It doesn't get any better than that. I just wish it would have picked up that third shot, because I really don't have any idea what that last velocity was, but clearly it shot good enough not to be really a huge issue. But anyway, that's going to conclude this video with the Grendel and with the 100 grain ELD-VT bullets. I'd say that in this gun, with the combination that we're shooting today, or combinations, totally would work for coyote killing. Like this would be great varmint hunting ammo. And it would be, I mean, pretty much every single one of those is accurate enough to shoot coyotes at the distance that I typically shoot them at. So like I'm stoked. Like I'm probably gonna stick with that. I'm really happy with how that's performing. I'm gonna try to get some more speed out of them if I can, because they're still kind of slow, but it's a Grendel. You're not gonna get a ton of speed out of a Grendel. It's just not gonna happen. So yeah, anyway, same thing as usual. Help me out by voting in the polls and leaving comments on what you guys want to see going forward with any of the videos that we do. It helps me a lot to know how much interest we have in certain topics. So please continue to do so. It's tremendously helpful. I always appreciate the support that you guys throw at me. That being said, that's the video. Don't forget to glorify God. Y'all stay risen, take care, and we will see you in the next one.